Hey guys, how's it going? So, after a couple days after the election, I finally realized why Joe Biden did win the presidency and why he's so qualified. So, listen carefully because I'm going to make the case. And I think when you're done listening, you, along with any reasonable person, would completely understand why. A record amount of people completely and utterly supported him and think that he'd be the best president of the United States ever. First, I would note how tough he is. Remember, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Now, the next example is going to portray just how tough Joe Biden is, how polite he is to constituents, as well as how he's fully accepting of people of all shapes and sizes, like the Democrats claim to be. When he spoke to the gentleman and said, "Listen here, fat, want to do some push-ups?" Now, of course, being a Democrat, he's completely accepting of women, right? Pro-women's rights, which is another great reason why he was elected. Like the time when he was speaking to that lady, a prospective voter, and he said, "You ever been to a caucus?" She said, "Yeah." He said, "No, you haven't. You're a lying, dog-faced pony soldier." Now, of course, he's qualified to be president and an excellent Democrat because he's not racist whatsoever. And to prove it, do you remember the time that he said you can't even own a 7-Eleven unless you have a slight Indian accent? And he never expressed his concern of his children growing up in a racial jungle. Now, just remember, don't hold it against him, okay? That he worked with the segregationists in the Senate to try to prevent the student busing, the integrated student busing of races. Don't even worry about it. He explained it and said, "Hey, I had to work with the segregationists. Basically, it was what it was back then. Not a big deal." And to prove it, when he was debating Kamala in the primaries, remember when she did that whole mic drop moment and said, there was a little girl who got to ride on the bus and she was part of the second class that got to ride in the integrated buses. Joe Biden, because of your bill that you put out that had segregated the busing, and that little girl was me? Now, of course, the icing on the cake is when he said, "If you vote for President Trump, then you ain't black." Now, let's talk about foreign policy and what great rapport he has with countries such as Russia and China. And I would just refer you to the laptop from hell. Enough said. By the way, where's Hunter? What's that pipe he's holding? And is that a Ukrainian hooker? Or is that... Alright, it's family friendly. I can't tell you anything else about the laptop. Now, another thing that makes him so highly qualified to be president is his great understanding of our founding documents. The great Declaration of Independence, when he most eloquently quoted it and said, men and women are endowed by their, you know the thing. And when he articulates such documents, he's always very alert. And he never sits there with his eyes closed and wanders off and says, "Nah, maybe I shouldn't." Now, here's another reason why he might have won. Now, pardon me, I don't really know how to count ballots because I'm not a Democrat. However, is it possible that if his name was under candidate for the President of the United States, and it was also under another office, like the United States Senate, that maybe if they voted him in for President and Senate, maybe you can add them together? Let me know, because I'm just an ignorant Republican conservative right-winger. But I do recall, during this recent election campaign 2020, Biden prominently in front of the camera saying, "I'm Joe Biden and I'm running for the United States Senate." Now, another reason why he probably won is because he's just such a great family man. Do you remember the time he was on the stage and he had his family up there with him and he said, "This is my wife. This is my daughter. What's that? Oh, they switched on me. Come on, man. This is my wife, and this is my daughter. And speaking of family, man, where's Hunter? And Biden's very calm, cool, and collected, and he's never violent. I don't even remember him saying, people ask me, do I wish I was debating him? No. I wish I was still in high school so I could take him behind the gym. Another reason he got so many votes is, look, here's how this works. Come on, man. America needs change. They need somebody new in office. Biden was only a senator for 40-something years and vice president for 8 years. That wasn't possibly enough time to get any policies enacted of any meaningful importance at all. So we need to give him a chance. He's still new at the game. In fact, he's so youthful and young. At the age of 78, he's just getting started. So we got to give him a chance. He hasn't had any time yet to try to serve America and make it the best country ever. Now, to add on to how young he actually is, 78 is very young, because now it's breaking. Now that the voting data is getting separated out and they're seeing which age groups he won, overwhelmingly, beyond anything that Trump could have even imagined getting, Biden has crushed the all-time record for getting the most Civil War soldier votes of all time. And with the average age being about 165 years old, Biden's very young compared to the average person that voted for him. Now look, there's going to be some naysayers. There's going to be some, Trump supporters. Some far right wingers. Come on, man. They're going to try to tell you. Now you listen to me, people. They're going to try to tell you, you know the thing. They're going to try to tell you that there was some funny business that happened. Big deal if there were a few ballots found in a dumpster. Who cares if there were a few found in the creek? Who cares if there was a little bit of a software error? Hey, people make mistakes. Come on, man. It happens. He won so much that it doesn't matter. I mean, what? 138,000 votes coming into Michigan in the middle of the night after they stopped counting? These are minor details. That would never impact an election. The 112,000 similar votes in Wisconsin? You think that's going to make a difference? Come on, man. Elect me. And if you don't like me, then pick someone else. I'm your man. Come on, man. Now in Georgia, when another 8,000 or so votes just came in the middle of the night, you really think that's going to make a difference? I mean, he won by a lot. He won by at least 6,000 votes in Georgia. So those 8,000 votes, obviously, if you can do any math, I mean, we have Common Core, so you can do math. There's no way that would have had an impact in such a wide lead in the state of Georgia. And sure, I get it, in Detroit, people came in with big coolers, okay? And they came in with radio flyer wagons and unmarked vans, and look, these are all conspiracies started by Trump, because to prove that they're all conspiracies, we had our people put cardboard up over the windows where the people were supposed to be viewing for transparency and oversight. We covered that up to completely and utterly prove to you that the Democrats were doing nothing wrong, and that clearly Joe Biden won. So for all those reasons, it should be completely obvious. Nothing to see here. Just go on with your life. Don't worry about it. $6 a gallon gas? That ain't that bad. Don't worry about the guns. Beto O'Rourke, he'll be the gun czar. He'll take care of you. And if all else fails, you'll still be able to own your shotgun. And if you hear a noise, go out on the back deck and fire 2 blasts. Clearly proving that Biden's a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. Alright, thanks for watching. And have a good one. And by the way, Susan, you and your bots that are watching this was satire, so deal with it.